Hello everybody, Internet back again with another video, and today's video, guys, is going to be about previewing the Monte Carlo final 2022 between Stefanos Tsitsipas, the 23 years old player from Greece, the 7 times ATP Tour titleist, who has won 7 titles in his career, versus a surprise to me, I believe a surprise to many of you in the entire world. I don't think that many of us or you expected Alejandro Davidovich Fokina being in the final in Monte Carlo. All respect to Alejandro Davidovich Fokina, but he has never played an ATP final in his entire career before this one, let alone an Master 1000 event like Monte Carlo is. So, Stefanos Tsitsipas versus Alejandro Davidovich Fokina, the 22 years old from Spain, who took out Novak Djokovic during this run that he has had here in Monte Carlo, which has been a great run. He has won 5 matches and now will play his first ever ATP final in his career. And of course, his first ever Master 1000 final as well, obviously. So, yeah, what can we say about this matchup, guys? Look, before this event started, I had Tsitsipas Djokovic final in my preview when I did my Monte Carlo preview 1 week ago. I thought that Tsitsipas' best surface is clay. He doesn't get robbed of time. His backhand works much better on clay. He gets depth, he gets spin, he gets height, you name it. He goes around with his forehand. He plays great serve plus forehands on this surface. Stefanos Tsitsipas, everything that he in his arsenal works so much better for Stefanos Tsitsipas on this slow surface. Compare that with hard courts and especially grass, which, by the way, in my opinion, it is Stefanos' worst surface, grass. And Davidovich Fokina, he is from Spain, obviously, so he mentioned one Spanish player who doesn't like playing on clay. You know that majority of players from Spain are specialists in playing tennis on clay. So, and of course, it is the same case with Alejandro Davidovich Fokina. So no surprise that he's making his first ever ATP final on this surface. Yeah, look, Davidovich Fokina is the underdog here, let's be honest. Like I said in the beginning of my video, not many of us believe that he will make it to the final. But he has done it. Great job from him. He did a great achievement against Grigor Dimitrov yesterday when he won the first set and was serving for the match in the second set, but in my opinion got nervous, choked, and then Grigor won the second set tiebreak, and then in the third, Davidovich Fokina really had the knife under his throat with Grigor Dimitrov leading the third set 2-0 and actually had a bunch of breakpoints opportunities to be a double break up in the third. And if Grigor would have been double break up in the third, I think it would have been hasta la vista baby for Alejandro Davidovich Fokina. But all credit to Alejandro Davidovich Fokina. He fought like a lion. He saved those bunch of breakpoints in that third game, in that titanic third game of the third set, and then turned around the third set and won the third set 6-3. On the other hand, Stefanos Tsitsipas had a much easier victory against Alexander Zverev, who, by the way, I believe that Stefanos would win against Alexander Zverev, but not in that easy fashion way, to be quite honest, because the match only took 1 hour and 15 minutes, something like that, and Stefanos dropped only 6 games, 4 in the first set and 2 in the second, and won the semi-final against Zverev 6-4, 6-2. So he he was in cruise control in that semi-final match against Alexander Zverev, to be quite honest. But I know, I have heard that Zverev had some kind of health problems, so I don't know if Zverev was 100% healthy, because he was pretty awful in my opinion, especially at the net. I don't know if I've ever seen Zverev that weak and that horrible at the net. So he more or less lost all the net approaches beside one. I think Zverev won only one net approach against Tsitsipas in the yesterday's semi-final. Only one. All the others he lost when he was coming forward to the net, and was not serving good. He did a lot of double faults, and Tsitsipas was returning better than Zverev, which is not the case. What is Tsitsipas' weakest part of his game? It is his backhand, it is his returns. But that is a different story on clay, because on clay he hits his backhand better. Like I said, he finds spin, height, and depth. He returns better on clay also, Tsitsipas, because like I said, he has time on his side, which is not the case on grass and hard court. So you cannot rob time off him on clay when you face Tsitsipas like you can do on grass and hard court. And that's why he also returns better on this surface, Tsitsipas. But Zverev is usually a much better returner than Tsitsipas, to be quite honest, my friends. But not in this semi-final match yesterday. Tsitsipas was much better returner than Zverev, and Tsitsipas was serving much better than Zverev. Tsitsipas' serve was exceptional in that semi-final. All in all, a very, very weak performance from Alexander Zverev. Tsitsipas didn't look murderous good either, especially not in the first set. He was doing a lot of errors. He dropped his serve when he was serving for the first set in that 5-3 game, and was broken. Tsitsipas did a lot of errors in that game, but the game later, in that 10th game in the first set, Tsitsipas broke Zverev's serve comfortably and won the first set 6-4. So in the first set was not a great performance by either of them, not from Zverev and not from Tsitsipas. But in the second set, Tsitsipas played much better, raised his level, served great, was hitting a lot of forehand winners, was slicing his backhand really superb. I don't know if I've ever seen Tsitsipas slicing his backhand that good, and was hitting his backhand really good. Like I said, Tsitsipas' backhand is a completely different shot on this surface compared with grass and hard courts. It all depends on time. He has so much more time on this slow surface that he hits his backhand so much better. He has so much better timing. He has so much better net clearance. He has so much better depth. He has so much better spin. He has so much better height, etc., etc., etc. Tsitsipas is a completely different player on this surface, and when the head-to-head between Tsitsipas and Alejandro Davidovich Fokina is 2-0 to Tsitsipas. They have faced each other 2 times. One time in last year's Monte Carlo quarterfinal, where Tsitsipas won after Davidovich Fokina retired after the first set. Tsitsipas won that first set 7-5. And the second time that they have faced each other was actually earlier this year in Rotterdam, where Tsitsipas won a close 3-set match. So Tsitsipas is leading 2-0 in the head-to-head. We have new finalists on these Master 1000 events. The last couple of events that we have seen, we saw 2 new finalists in last year's Indian Wells in Gabrishvili and Cam Norrie. We have a new finalist in Indian Wells with Taylor Fritz. One is first ever Master 1000 title. We had 2 new finalists in Miami, in Carlos Alcaraz and Casper Ruud, and now we have another new finalist in a Master 1000 final, and in ATP final in general, because Alejandro Davidovich Fokina is playing his first ever ATP final. So we are seeing new Master 1000 finalists, the last couple of Master 1000s events that we have seen. But the player that I will pick here to win the title and to defend his Monte Carlo title from last year is Stefanos Tsitsipas, he's a better player than Alejandro Davidovich Fokina. He's a more solid player than Alejandro Davidovich Fokina. He's a much better server than Alejandro Davidovich Fokina. He returns better than Alejandro Davidovich Fokina, especially on this surface. He does a better job on serve plus game than Alejandro Davidovich Fokina. He hits better forehand than Alejandro Davidovich Fokina. And I think Stefanos Tsitsipas is better physical player than Alejandro Davidovich Fokina, because Alejandro Davidovich Fokina, he really looked spent in that third set against Grigor Dimitrov. Grigor Dimitrov just couldn't hit that knockout punch against Fokina, because Fokina, he looked really drained and physically exhausted. But he some way miraculously won that match, which is not the greatest credit to Grigor Dimitrov. Grigor Dimitrov should have never let Fokina win that semi-final match yesterday, considering how exhausted Fokina looked in that third set. But I don't think that Fokina will have much left in the tank here. He has played over 11 hours of tennis in his 5 victories that he has had. His Cinderella run will end in this final, I believe, and I think that Stefanos Tsitsipas will win this final in straight sets and win his 8th ATP final and his 2nd Master 1000 title. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and see you next time. Peace!